dog. So, I got more of these boxes. And yeah, like I said in the previous video, I'm going to be storing away all of these big boxes. And while I was on the way to the shop, I kept thinking, surely, there's one game I hadn't seen yet that left a huge impression on me as a kid. My nan introduced me into this game, and it is the mother of all strategy, real-time strategy games, Dune II. So, yeah, I thought I'd do another video specifically on this absolute masterpiece, work of true originality and creativity by Westwood Studios, who were later bought out by EA Games, who have not done another Dune game in quite some time. So this is literally the first true real-time strategy game. It has everything. It has base building, unit movement control, resource gathering, and the style and aesthetic of the game is heavily influenced by, well, obviously Dune, but say it's like Dune is basically like the father of space opera. So anything like Star Wars is essentially derivative of Dune. And so this game is what got me interested in Dune in the first place. There's a small tear in it, unfortunately, but still, yeah, that's in all right condition. I love the design of their troopers, which the graphics that they use. You can actually, in the game, you can actually see detailed information on every single unit and building and game concept. Those there are the wind traps. That's how they generate power on Arrakis. Arrakis is Dune. So, this is the game that started it all. And Westwood Studios would go on to, they wanted to create a franchise in their own universe. So they created the Command and Conquer and Red Alert series. Which are, of course, the remake of the first Command and Conquer, and Red Alert has just come out today. People are saying it's great, so I'm probably going to buy that and look forward to replaying the classics, which had a huge impact on me as a child. And this game in particular is the most surreal and unique out of all of them. And yeah, it's the first to put all of those elements together to create. So you've got the map and the movement to create a real-time tactical base building strategy game. This came out in 1992, and it was basically the only real-time strategy game for 2 whole years until Warcraft, Orcs and Humans came out, which I've got here. Warcraft, Orcs and Humans came out in 1994, 2 years after Dune. And they basically took the formula and went for a more Dungeons and Dragons or Warhammer or Lord of the Rings type thing with, like, I mean, that's literally Orcs and Humans. So this was a very dark fantasy RPG. Warcraft after this became a lot more colourful and cartoonish. But as you can see, you've got the same basic elements. You've got the map, you've got a individual unit control, 2 resources, and you're controlling units in real time on a map. So there were games before Dune and Warcraft which had individual elements of real-time strategy, like Herzog's Way is one of them. I think that's how you pronounce it. So there were games that had like unit control and elements of real-time tactical combat, which could technically be called real-time strategy, but it was these 2 games and this one in particular which really put together the format that created a whole genre, and without that, there would have been no Warcraft, which means no Warcraft Online, no, what is it? World of Warcraft, yeah. No World of Warcraft. I never got into World of Warcraft. I just didn't want to pay the subscription fees. There also would have been no Warcraft 3 map spin-offs. There would be no Starcraft. So with no map spin-offs, there would have been no Dawn of the Ancients, which means there would have been no League of Legends. So a lot of this influence that comes from Blizzard in the strategy genre was basically derivative of Dune II. This is still a very unique experience. I highly recommend anybody who's interested in retro games or the history of games to go back and give this game a go. There are remakes of it. You can play it. I think you can even play it online in the browser, so you don't even have to download and install the game. But check it out. Yeah.